Ethan marshaled his thoughts as he gazed at the creaky old house nestled within the quiet suburbs of New Jersey. It had been 3 decades since he'd last stepped foot in his childhood home, yet every inch of the place was seared into his memory like a ghost that refused to be exorcised. His insomnia had worsened since his return, each sleepless night feeding into the next, blending days into a haze of fatigue and dread. He couldn't escape the phantom of Billy, his childhood friend who vanished without a trace. Though the nights brought him no rest, they were punctuated by creaks, whispers, and shadows in the corners of his vision, each one suggesting Billy's unseen presence. As if the house itself held the memory of that fateful night, his therapist had urged him to face his past head-on, piecing together the fragmented shards of memory, but the task seemed Herculean. Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that there was something wrong, something he had missed all those years ago. The Hawthorne Institute, a local establishment cloaked in rumors of sinister happenings, loomed large in the town's collective psyche, its shadowy presence undeniable. It was said to hold secrets, memories, and perhaps even guilt. Ethan had to know if the Institute held the key to Billy's disappearance. His investigation led him to old police reports, newspaper clippings, and hushed conversations with town residents who had long forgotten or chosen to forget the mystery that had once gripped them. The Institute was more than just a place, it had tentacles that reached deep into the town's history. Ethan's search grew increasingly desperate, strange occurrences continuing to mount within his home. He began to uncover a series of connections pointing towards clandestine experiments at the Hawthorne Institute, experiments that dealt with the manipulation of memory and the resurfacing of buried trauma. Psychologists and doctors who once worked at the Institute were either missing or had died under mysterious circumstances. One night, Ethan's exhaustion gave way to a dark sleep. In his dream, Billy appeared, not as he was when he vanished, but as he might have been had he grown up. His eyes, however, were hollow, depthless voids that reflected Ethan's own despair. Billy pointed towards the basement, the doors to which had remained obstinately closed ever since his return. Waking with a gasp, Ethan knew where his search had to lead next. Descending into the murky bowels of the house, flashlight in hand, Ethan discovered a hidden compartment behind the withered remnants of old furniture. Inside lay a set of files bearing the Hawthorne Institute's insignia. His blood chilled as he sifted through the documents detailing experiments on children, memory erasure, and implantation of false recollections. Scrawled notes and photos showed Billy, strapped to a gurney, eyes wide in terror, finally facing the horror. Ethan realized that Billy's disappearance wasn't a simple case of a missing child, it was part of something far darker. The bonds of friendship had been severed by the unscrupulous hands of those who sought to play God with the human mind. Ethan's own memories had been tampered with, repressed by the Institute's malevolent designs.